Peep the struggle gap between the rich and poor. Every day in the hood, it's the battle in the war. Cops is banging on the door, people sleeping on the floor. Kids and babies going hungry, can't get food from the store. Cause they mother is cracked out, and daddy done left out. The moms ain't got no heat, home turned into a crack house. No money for the bills, the home is looking like a blackout. And every dime she gets, she go run into the trap house.
There she goes, guys. She looks great. I'm going to play some of her music so you guys get a feel of who I'll be interviewing. This is one of her latest songs. It's called Riding. I want you guys to let me know what you think, because she'll be joining my live very soon, okay? Okay.
Yeah, baby, I'm riding.
Okay, she'll be joining my live very soon, so I want you guys to tap in, Lady Miz.
I'm riding.
Okay? Yeah.
Yeah, baby, I'm riding.
Okay.
Is you catching this ride, baby?
I'm here for it.
Or is you coming inside? Rolling in my 6'4". He gave me 6 inches, said I need more.
Yeah.
I need a you got to rub up on my clit more.
Oh.
He said my panties smell like Dior. Put the key in ignition and ramp up the
about this? Come on.
A little more kissing and a lot more dicking.
Yeah.
I told you I'm a rider. Just make sure you don't side her.
Yeah.
Come ride with me. Come ride with me. Yeah. Is you catching this ride, baby? Or is you coming
inside, baby? Okay, we're gonna get started right away. We're gonna get started right now. This song is called Riding. It's out right now. It's a single.
Is you catching this ride, baby?
I like it. Lady Miz.
Coming inside.
She got a lengthy track, but we're gonna get into all of that. We're gonna get into all of that, okay? Just want to make sure everybody's tuning in. We got enough people joined in before we can start. Okay, I see people. Where are you from? Let me know where you guys are from so I can know what's going on here, okay? I didn't know what's going on. Yeah.
I'm just right with the nice finish.
Okay. Yeah. Lady Miz. Okay. I wonder if I'm saying her name right. I'm gonna send her a request.
Speed it up. You got the green light, daddy. Now take off.
Yeah.
L D Delta Y Yankee.
I'm here.
Oh my God. Just make sure.
She's telling the story. Okay, she's here. Hi.
Hey.
How are you?
I'm all right. How are you?
I'm good. How much you hear me? Everything's good before I'm gonna jump right in, okay?
Okay. All right. Let's do it.
I like this song. This riding. I like the vibe too. It's like a summertime vibe.
Yeah, I feel it's like a summertime. I feel like it got a West Coast vibe. I don't know.
It does. But it's giving me like some type of shining. I want to see a video. Is the video out? I want to see a video.
You know what? I said I was going to do a video. I've been so busy, but I am going to do a video. I am.
That's a good one. Okay, so Lady Miz, the infamous Lady Miz. I don't say infamous, but like what I will say is you got your hand in a lot of things. Okay, a lot of things. Now you were born in Philadelphia, right?
Yes. Yep. West Philly, born and raised. On the playground is where I spent most of my days.
I know that's right. Okay. So when did you move up to New York? So how did that transition? Were you a child? Let's talk about that.
Yeah. So I moved to New York when I was very young.
Okay.
I was like maybe 9 or 10 years old. And when I moved to New York, I moved to the like Rockland County area. So that was like, that's about 30 minutes from the city.
Okay. So Rockland County, how was the vibe there? Like, let's talk about Rockland County area. How was the vibe? Was it an adjustment, being in the...
It was definitely an adjustment because one, moving into because that's a suburban area, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
But it's not far from the city because you're talking 20-30 minutes right over the bridge, but it's still the suburbs. So the adjustment was very different. I was not used to like the grass and all of that because I'm coming from West Philly. It was a little different, definitely different vibe. But, I adjusted, made it work.
That makes sense. So
Yes.
around the age of 11, you started writing. So how did that come in? Were you like, I'm just bored over here, I'm gonna start making music? Or let's talk about that, because you started writing. This is good.
Yeah, so I started writing at the age of 11 because I was actually on punishment. I was acting out in school and I got in trouble because, I kind of miss home. You know what I mean? I used to say, hey, I'm New York is my home. But when my mom moved me from Philly to New York, I was kind of sad. So I wasn't really around people that I knew. It was a really big adjustment for me. So, what happened is I was on punishment and I was listening. I love music. My parents always played music. My sister played music. Music was always around me. So I was listening to Dougie Fresh and Slick Rick. I had my boom box, you know what I'm saying, with my tape deck and all of that. And I was just like, I started writing their lyrics down. And I was reciting them because I wanted to say it exactly how they were saying it. I did not want to mess up their verses, okay? So I was writing their lyrics down, and then after that, something just came over me. I was like, oh, I could say this, I could say that. And I just started writing from there, my own stuff.
So from there, you started writing your own music, and then you became the artist Misery. Now, let's talk about, that name and, how you transitioned from Ladi Miz. Let's talk about that, because
yeah, so the Misery came from, okay, so I think I was like 15 years old. I used to have, I was very young, a teenager, hanging out somewhere in Queens. I can't even remember what part of Queens, right? So there was this guy that I knew. He took me to some studio, and I started rapping, and it was like, oh, because I was a little hardcore. So they was like, oh, that sounds like, yeah, that's dope. But it got to be something that she's causing, that she's doing. And they was like, Misery. So I was like, oh, I love that name. So I went from the old school Sweet Tea, Sexy Tea, all of those old school names to Misery. And then when I took a hiatus, long break from music and decided to come back, my mindset was very different. I was different. And I really wasn't on that hardcore tip anymore. So big shout out to Demo Ed. I was in his studio, and he was like, I don't know, Misery don't really fit you anymore. So I was like, yeah, you're right. And he was like, I see more maturity. So that's where the lady came in at.
I like the Ladi Miz. I like that. That's dope. Now I want to get back to we started making, because I see you have a lengthy track record and you're telling a story. Now I want to go through these stories. Now in 2018, you had a Freedom of Expression out. It was an EP album, and I liked it. It was 9 songs. It told a story. What was your mind frame during that time?
My mind frame at that time was definitely on my sister soldier tick. Okay, so I was very and still am to a certain degree, but really into just Black power. I'm gonna say, you know what I mean? It was more about that. And I said to myself, okay, if I come back and do music, I want to come back and do it where I'm making a difference and I have a message. I don't want to just be spitting bars and rapping about things that didn't have any meaning to it. So I was like, oh, I'm going to call myself the Harriet Tubman of the game, because she came back to kind of free, you know what I mean? So it was like, I wanted to have a statement with what I was doing. And I said, well, I want to speak my piece. I want to tell people how I feel. So freedom of expression is what I want to call this album. So that's where that came from. Big shout out to my husband, Bronx Navy boy, Ray the Silent Assassin in the building. Chucky Chuck beats and eats. I see y'all. Can't scroll all the way through, but I'm shouting my people out.
All right, I love it. One of my favorite songs, I have a few, but it was one with Allah Preem called Woke Prisoner.
Oh, yes. That's one of my favorites, too.
I was like, okay. I love that you were speaking knowledge. It's important, because in today's society, knowledge isn't, the focal point. Just numbers and, instant gratification. So I see that's where you were going through then. But then after that, you had another album, 2019, called Elegant Gangster. Now this one, I was just like, okay,
switching it up.
You switched it up. I like this. Now, did you decide to come up with these names, or was it like, did you say, okay, I'm gonna just go through? It's more. I want to know, like, how did that come about? The
So
names of
you
these
know
albums.
what's so funny? I don't never want to take the full credit because there's always somebody around me that's listening to me and saying, "Hey, this sounds like that." And then when I hear something that resonates with me, I roll with it. So from the freedom of expression to Elegant Gangster, big shout out to and rest in peace to my friend DJ Cisco from DJC Radio Global. We lost him to COVID, and he was somebody that was totally so supportive in everything that I did. And when he was listening to my music, he was like, "Well, Miz, I still hear a little hardness in you, you know, when you speak. So, but you still your presence and the way that you move is still in the elegant way." So he actually gave me that that name. He gave me that idea. That was one of the ideas that I wrote with. So that actually came from DJ Cisco.
Shout out to him. That's amazing. That's really amazing. And you know, rest in peace as well. But you know, just that whole concept is great. Okay, so you have a song called "Telling My Story" too. Is it a "Telling My Story"? Is it a song or is it an album? What?
So it's telling my story.
No, that's a podcast. No, was that like a?
No. No, you're right. Telling My Story is an actual song. It's a song that's put out that's on an album. But yeah,
Okay.
Telling My Story is and you know what's so funny is it was because of what I was saying. I was like, oh, you know, telling my story. I'm not gonna let people write my story for me, right? In the sense of, you know, you have a lot of naysayers, you got a lot of people that will tell you what you should and shouldn't be doing. But at the end of the day, it's my choice to do what I want to do. So I was like, I'm going to tell my story. But it honestly, that's not even the Telling My Story song. Like the Telling My Story song is called My Problems Is Mine. That's where I'm really telling my story. And I wrote that about, probably 14 years ago. That was deep. It actually is connects with my book that I put out, Broken Then Healed. But that one, I'm really telling my story.
The book. When did the book come out? Was it last year or 2 years ago?
The book came out a couple of years ago. Yeah, a couple of years ago. That was the first one that I did, which is called Broken Then Healed.
Broken Then Healed. How do you realize you were healed? What did it take for you to say, "No, I'm healed now"? I know we all go through it, you know.
Honey, let me tell you something. I was not healed. I thought that I was. And I always tell the story because I think it's important that we be honest with ourselves and other people. Sometimes we tend to really convince ourselves that we're better, we're in a better place, and we put all that baggage somewhere in the back and don't realize that we're carrying it around with us. So really, I told a lie to myself. I thought that I was healed, but I was far from healed. And I did not really realize I was healed until after the fact. I'm talking about probably a year or so after. Actually, when I did a class called From the Ground Up, which is funny because that's the name of my podcast, with and I hate to mess up her name. I hate messing up people's name. Ayana, she does that thing, Fix My Life.
Ayana Van Zandt. Okay.
Yes. So I did a class with her. In this class, it was really, for some reason, I knew I needed it. I just knew. I said, I need this class. And during that class, she was this lady is amazing. She was pulling out things that I did not know that I buried deep down. So during that time, I realized I'm not healed. I didn't put out Broken and Healed, and I got to do a part 2.
It takes someone else to put that out of you. So I do understand. And it's like, when do you actually completely heal anyone? Because, you know, people go through things constantly. And some things are traumatic. And sometimes it takes someone else to bring it out of you. So, you know, you can't always self-heal yourself. I think I can self-heal myself, but sometimes I have to say, you know what? Someone else has to step in here. But I get where you're going with this. Shout out to Ayana Van Zandt. She's amazing.
Yes,
I saw you did a video with Big Veg. It was the best of both worlds. I love the video. Your children were in there, beautiful house. I was like, yes, a Black woman out here really showing what it's. How was that experience? You know, shout out to Veg. You know, he's cool.
Yes, big shout out to Veg. Veg is my people's. I do everything, not everything, but majority of my stuff and videos. I'm always doing business with Veg. We from the same area, the same 845 Rockland County. So, you know, yes, I'm always rocking out with Big Veg. And Best of Both Worlds was also another song that I wrote a while ago that I said, you know what, I want to put this out. I need to have a song that my kids can always go back to and listen to, but also a song for the kids, right? That's like, sending a message for the kids, because we do need to kind of balance things out in this music industry. So I wanted to have something like that. So that's where the Best of Both Worlds came from.
I'm sorry. I don't want to, I feel like I'm beating you up with all these questions. I'm going to slow it down a little bit. No, I'm going too hard on you. I feel like I'm just, I'm going to slow it down. I want to name some names, and you're going to give me 2 words that you think about these names, okay?
Mm-hmm.
Okay, I won't say 2 words. Give me the first thought that comes to your mind. Put it like that.
Okay.
Will Smith.
Who? Now you ask me that, and after all that happened, I think Big Smack, but I mean, I don't know what to say, but Will Smith, okay, I would say, it's so funny, right, because I want to correct the Big Smack, but I would say Misunderstood.
Ooh. Misunderstood. Why? His sexuality, his manhood. What do you mean?
Well, misunderstood because people always are expecting a celebrity to be perfect, to always take a beating from everybody because they chose to be in the spotlight. But we forget that these are human being people who hurt. So when we have a whole world of people talking about him, his life, his kids, his wife, how he is as a man, what his wife did to him, and he has to walk around and smile and give the best advice to the world and act like he's this perfect person. And the minute that he has a breakdown, the world turns against him, and we're all like, acting like he can't have that moment of being a human being. So to me, I think that he's just misunderstood. We're judging him too much because he had a human moment. Hi, Mom. What's up, Cheap Records? Okay.
Yeah. That is true, and that's a good point. He had a human moment. That is that's good.
It might not have been a good one, right? Because we all make mistakes. Nobody's perfect, but he's human. And we have to stop idolizing people just because they are someone who made it, because they're ordinary people that just followed their dream. They're no different than any of us, right? So people put people on a pedestal and they expect perfection from them. And then when perfection don't play out all the time, they're disappointed, and now they want to criticize them and throw stones. I hate that. I hate it. I hate it. I hate it. So yes, that's where I get the misunderstood from.
Oh, that's good. Slick Rick.
Who? Rap idol.
A rap idol.
Yes. I love the fact that he was a storyteller. If you listen to my song whenever you get a chance, I was about to say Broken in Hill in my book. My Problem Is Mine. I felt like I was influenced by Slick Rick being a storyteller, so definitely rap idol.
My Problem Is Mine, you said?
My Problems Is Mine. Mm-hmm.
Let me see. Let's hear this.
Play it like that. Okay.
Let's hear this. Come on, I want to hear it. Let's get a little peek of this.
Okay.
See, I've been through it all. I had my struggles and my hard times, got a weak heart, but always had a strong mind. The shame of my past, now that only made me stronger. Yo, I remember nights with no food, feeling that hunger. My mom's had a house, so we was living in Philly. But I remember when we had no heat and it was chilly. And every night, mommy throwing up in the toilet. Yo, she staying in the bar. She must be an alcoholic. So my sister raising me.
That's the Elegant Gangster. Go check it out, guys, if you want to hear that.
Yeah.
Okay? I like that. Dougie Fresh.
Dougie Fresh. Oh my God. Woo. I have to say another hip hop idol to me. He's somebody that influenced me. That Slick Rick and Dougie Fresh. Those were the first 2 people that I wrote my first rhyme to. So they definitely influenced me in hip hop.
You gotta pick one. I'm gonna switch it up a little bit. You gotta pick one as a producer.
Mm-hmm.
D-Moet or Contagious?
Boy, you been doing how you gonna do that? Oh my God. That is not fair.
No, as a producer.
I'm tapping out.
Okay, one drink. Okay, I get it. Okay.
It's hard. Yeah, I can't answer it.
No, but you have a lot of music in your background, and I see that you got a studio in your house now. Because you've been recording albums every year. I'm trying to think, who has this time? You got connections. Like this is important. We need to know, like, you really moving it. Let's talk about it.
What happened is, and I think it was 2018 is when let me just tell y'all this because this is so funny. My daughter's father, who is contagious, the one that you mentioned as a producer, right? Mm-hmm. His girlfriend at the time.
Okay.
They called me up. Now, let me just let people know, I'm never one to have a problem with somebody over no reason. She was mad cool. I was cool with her. We have a child together. That's what it is. But his girlfriend called me up because she was doing business with him as well. And she said, you should get back into the music. This is what we're doing, blah, blah, blah. You're a dope MC. Why not get back into it? So my daughter's father's girlfriend at the time is the one who convinced me to get back into the industry, which is so funny, right? So What happened is, that was 2018, right? So that's me after that long break that I told you I took, because I was done with music completely. I was like, I'm not doing it at all. So what happened was, when I got back into doing it, I was trying to find my way because everything has changed. Definitely wasn't the way that I knew it to be. Even though I was younger and didn't understand the business, things were still very different. So when I had to depend on other people to record and I couldn't get things done, I started getting frustrated. But then I realized, hold up. You know what I'm saying? I fall back. Let me see. I'm in a position where I could go just, kind of do all this stuff myself. I can purchase whatever I want to get. Thank God I have a husband who is handy. He built me a booth. I went out. I bought the Pro Tools, the Apple G.
That's what I'm talking about.
Interface, the Apple whatever computer, everything that we needed for me to be able to say, if I get up in the morning and I want to go record, I got to wake him up and say, I'm ready. You know what I'm saying? But the job is going to get done, and I love it. I love the fact that I create access for myself to be able to move when I want to move.
That's important.
Yes.
What keeps you motivated, to keep going? Because this work ethic doesn't just come from anywhere. It's like a drive that you have. So let's talk about what's this drive?
So my drive comes from, I think, the fact that, one, I lost a lot of time in my early years, right? So just when if you listen to the song, or even deeper in the book Broken Than Hill, you'll see that, like, I was in juvenile jail. I was for kids. I was in group homes, lockups, regular jail. I was like a lost soul going through a lot of stuff. Getting in and out of trouble consistently. And for me, I mean, at that time, I haven't even finished school. Like, my life was just crazy. So for me, it was about survival. That's all that I really knew. Where I'm going to sleep, how I'm going to eat, and how I'm going to make it through the next day. That's all that really mattered to me. So I had to learn in the process how to hustle and how to survive. So that was instilled in me that way, just the survival part. Now, as far as the work ethic and me constantly going now, it's because I'm like, darn, I kind of feel like, darn, I lost a lot of time in my my years growing up, and we only get one life. Right? So instead of me, waiting for someone to give me an opportunity, I have to learn how to create those for myself. And if I want to do something, I'm going to do it. I don't care if I fell. If I fell, so what? I fell plenty of times in my life. So it doesn't mean anything because I'm learning in the process. So I love the move. I love the work. I love to help other people. I just like moving. It keeps me alive. I feel alive. I don't want to just be sitting there doing nothing. I had my time doing that already.
I know that's right. I know that's right. Yes.
And girl, I love these questions. You are good, sis. Okay,
I've heard that a couple times, but no, thank you.
Trust me, I see it.
Thank you. No, thank you. Now, I want to know: would you consider yourself a conscious rapper, a hardcore rapper, or a boom bap rap era? Like, what would you consider yourself? Because
I consider myself versatile because I think that I'm all of that. You're going to hear conscious, you're going to hear boom bap, you might hear hardcore, then you're going to hear sexy, you're going to hear sexual, just like the riding, right? So I don't really like to put myself in a box. I realized when I did that with the conscious music that that's all people were expecting from me. So when I put out a song like Touch Me or Take a Soda, they're like, ooh. So I don't get surprised, right? I don't want anybody to get caught up in the, oh, you should only be talking about that. No, music is an art. It's a form of expression. So when I write something, I want to be able to write whatever I'm feeling at that moment. So that's where I put myself.
Love it.
Yeah.
Who inspires you?
Oh boy. You know what? A lot of people, honestly. One, my mother, big shout out to my mom. My mom is a hard worker. And I got that. I know I got that from her for sure. Constantly going, because she's a woman that is always going on the go. So my mom inspires me. You know, my family, my kids, my husband, they inspire me. And people who are so supportive of everything that I got going on, because it gives me the drive. It is a reassurance. Even though we have to believe in ourselves, it's nice to know that there's other people who got your back and they support you and believe in you. So that alone inspires me to keep moving forward. Them and that.
That's right. Shout out to you. 2020 came, COVID hit. You found a way to put out different personalities. Now, explain that, you know, that ride. Because listen, you said, I'm COVID here, I'm still gonna put out something. Let's talk about it.
Yeah, so COVID hit. I was like, I'm in a house, right? So I don't want to just be sitting here doing nothing. I have to be active and staying in the game or doing what I love. Even if I don't have to be an artist out there rapping on stage. I just like to write, right? I like to be a creator with music. So that's where the real true passion is at. So different personalities, I wanted to put that out because I felt like, you know what? Again, here I am with really trying to show people that today I might be on the hardcore tip. Tomorrow, I might be righteous on my sister soldier. Then the next day, I might just want to be sexy. So you're going to get different personalities. And I have a song actually on that album called Different Personalities. And I'm kind of like, it's like I'm talking to myself in the mirror. And I'm asking myself, okay, well, who am I? You know, am I proud? Will I be proud of the legacy that I left behind, etc.? So that's what that is all about. What's up, DJ Magic?
These are the questions one may ask.
Okay.
Do I love any part of him? I wanted to write, but when you do write, you think you weak.
Yeah.
I gotta show the other side. So then I ask, am I happy with what I see? I'm trying to figure out just who I be. When I look in the mirror, I see all different personalities. Yeah. And I'm just trying to figure out which one is really me. Am I happy with what I see?
All of them.
That's real. Different personalities. I like that. It's real. You being real. I like that you speaking positivity. You know, you're speaking life to, you know, women, anyone. You're speaking life. People not doing that nowadays. They're speaking destruction. You know, that's what's important nowadays. I don't know, but you're doing the right thing. I'm proud of you. So do you have a record label coming out, like, or are you just all your music? It's like, are you publishing? Let's talk about it. You got books.
Yeah, so I started my own music publishing company and my own book publishing company. So I put my stuff out, you know, on my own and through my own publishing. And that's like I said, that's what books end with music. As far as anything else, like, you know, I have it. DJ Cisco had a record label, and we had put out a song, Wavy. I never promote Wavy. I always feel like it would not feel the same without him doing it. He made the beat, and he was like, Miz, I want to put out a song with you on my label. And I was like, okay, yeah, let's do it. You know what I mean? So, but I don't know. I'm not good with that, you know what I mean? So I'm more like a fighter, like I avoid, you know what I mean? So for me, when I just avoid the whole thing, I deal with it better.
Me too. That's how but it's not good. But I don't want to deal with it. Like, I just don't want to deal with it. I get it. Yeah. We're going to go back to names.
Okay. Uh-oh.
Taraji Henson.
Oh,
Taraji P. Henson. Let's talk about.
I love Taraji P. Henson. I think that she's an amazing woman, amazing actor, amazing role model. I love the fact that she's doing things for mental health, especially for Black people out there, because we tend to run away from that and think that it's a problem if we go get help, and we try to stereotype it as if it's a bad thing. So for her, like, and I loved her on Empire. I think she's so dope and so beautiful. So for me, I don't know. I love her. I love her. I don't know what else to say, but that.
Amazing. Jay-Z.
Woo! One of my favorites. My favorite rapper.
Really?
Absolutely. Absolutely. I love Jay-Z. And the reason that I love Jay-Z is because, first of all, I love all his music. I couldn't figure out, I used to be asking myself, who's one of my favorite rappers? And then I just realized Nicki Minaj is one of my favorites too, right? But Jay-Z, what I love about him is that how he evolved. Like, he came from this guy from the projects that he spoke a certain way and he spoke about certain things, but he educated himself on ownership and just being able to create his own. And then he came back and he reached back and helped other people. He put himself in a position where he doesn't have to be a slave to certain people. I love that he evolved and he changed the message in his music. Even though people were looking for something else from them, he was trying to teach people, nah, I'm different and I elevated. So this is who I am now. Why don't y'all come on board and understand where I'm at mentally? I love that. I love that. So definitely Jay-Z is my number one.
You are a good advocate for people that you really like, because you express exactly how you feel. I believe it. It makes me want, okay, let me look into them a little bit more, because let's talk about you have your own podcast, right? Let's talk about that, because you're moving out here.
Yes. So I have a podcast, which I started during the pandemic. So it was an idea before the pandemic, right? But I wasn't being consistent with it. So during the pandemic, I decided, you know what? I was going on other people's shows and stuff and being interviewed for my music. And I was like, I want to kind of like start my own thing, because I actually love talking to people. And I like to find out other people's story too and what they got going on. So I again, my husband, that's my partner, did everything. I do everything with him. So we just started little by little, doing interviews and just, trying to make it better and better and better. And we're still in the process of making it better. But I then branched off to another show called Talk Therapy, and then Hood Court. So these are shows under From the Ground Up production. But yeah, From the Ground Up production, that's a podcast where we interview different entertainers, entrepreneurs, legends, and other independent artists.
Awesome. It's good that you mentioned your husband, because, a lot, the support that he gives. It's so important to have people around you that's grounded. Let's talk about how it was when you didn't have that support. And how, things different. Because people always want to idolize being single, hot girl summer, things like that. But you need a man. Let's talk about how important it is to have that support. Women.
You know what's funny? I can't really say that I never had the support. I always had people in my corner. Again, another friend that I lost, and rest in peace to Dwayne Foreman. I've always had friends and people who believed in me, even when I wasn't doing much with, music or writing or anything else. I can't say that, but I will say who gave me the most value with the support is my husband. Okay. But I've always been supported by people and had people in my corner. I'm
That's
lucky.
A blessing.
It is.
Are you religious? Do you talk to a higher power? No.
Well, spiritually.
Okay.
Yeah. But I'm not a religious person at all. Absolutely not. No. I used to be, but I'm not anymore. No.
Is there like a difference in opinion of that? Like,
well, for me, I feel that religion, in my opinion, guys, that my religion to me, I feel like it separates people. You got all these different, this one believes in this one believes in that, all these different churches, and then everybody say it's one God. And so if it's just one, why do we need all these different things and these different rules and different this and that? And on top of that, well, I might as well go ahead and be honest. on top of that, I feel that some things were made up, are man-made. You know what I mean? So I don't really follow every single thing that people put out because somebody else believed it. Because technically, really, it's really about a belief, in my opinion. It's about a belief. Nobody can prove nothing. Everything that somebody believes in when it comes to that is just something that they read, something that they feel and they believe. So when I think of a higher power, and I believe in a higher power, it doesn't have to be a man, a woman, a black or a white, just a spiritual being, right? Because we all have a spirit, right? If a spirit left our body, we'd be dead laying there, and it would just be the shell in our body. So I definitely know and believe that in spirit-wise. So when I pray, even if I do say God sometimes, because sometimes I do, it's not on a religious tip, it's just more on a spiritual level.
Amen. All right. Talk the talk. I'm here for it. I'm here for it. Family Business. That came out this year. Is it an album?
Yes, Family Business is a compilation.
Okay.
It's a compilation with my family on it. So you got
really?
Yes, my husband is on there. My daughter is on there. She sings. My stepson is on there. He raps. My other son, he says a couple of words, even though he don't want to rap, but he can. He's on there. My uncle is on there.
This is amazing.
Yeah.
I didn't know this.
Yes. So my whole family. So, and I have a lot of friends. Cash on Abel, who is like family to me. He's from the ATL. He's on there. Mason is on there. Ian95, who is my daughter's boyfriend, who also raps, he's on there. So we decided, listen, we're all one, we're all family, and I hope I'm not forgetting anybody because I hate when I forget people. But we said we putting this out because it is. Everything we do is family business. And what I want to show people is that family still exists. Family structure still exists, especially in the Black community. So I think it's important that we put that out there and show people that there's still unity within our people. And when we do things, we do it as a family. So this is family business.
Yes, you setting the standard, honey. You got to top that, y'all. Put your family on. This is legendary. You understand? Because you own the publishing company, okay? So listen, teaching people the game. I don't know if everybody want to know the game, but you know your business, okay? You all right with it. Just keep going. That's it. Like, that's all you got. Everything you doing it. Like, I'm salute to you.
Thank you. Big shout out to Godson. What up, Godson the Pharaoh in the building? I see you, Detroit in the house.
Yeah. Listen, you still out here moving. I hate to say this, but what is a vibe killer for you when you're creating?
Oh. He know what I'm thinking. I don't like bad energy. I don't like bad energy. When I'm creating, first of all, when I'm writing, sometimes I just really I could be left alone for hours and I'm in awe, like, because I'm enjoying what I do. Like, God gave me, see, I'm using God, right? I told you I use that stuff. God gave me a talent and a gift, and I love to do that. So sometimes we forget, like, how to make ourselves happy, and we're always searching for somebody else to make us happy and stuff. But when you have a gift, that alone makes you happy. So I be so comfortable in my space. But what I don't like to be bothered. I don't want nobody talking to me. I don't like to be interrupted. And I don't like bad energy because it kills my mood. And I believe in the law of attraction. So if somebody's coming around and they doing that, messes up. Buzzkill for me. That's what it is.
I like your style, and I wish you success. I really do. I wish you success because you are doing what most people, aspire to do, and you're not giving up. And, kids and all, family and all, we're going to do this together as a family. We're going to make it work.
That's right.
And you know what you took a break for some years ago, and you said, I'm going to come back. I'm gonna come back, and that's just showing resilience. That's showing resilience. Shout out to you. What's your website? What is it? LadiMiz.com. That
Yes.
you can check out everything.
Yes, LadiMiz.com, and I spell lady with an I, not a Y. LadiMiz.com. I always ask people if they go on there, subscribe, so that I can stay in touch with people. If social media goes down, I got to find a way to be able to connect to people. So absolutely, LadiMiz.com. That's where they can find basically almost everything that I do. Almost everything that I do.
All right. One more question. I probably got two more. Okay, and that's it. I'm gonna let you go. I'm not gonna hold you too long because I start asking too much now. Rakim.
Who? The godfather of rap. To me, Rakim is one of the best MCs to me. What I liked about Rakim is the fact that, he knew how to also tell a story and rap and give bars, right? See, we live in a time now where everything is about vibe and it's about how you say it. It's not even about what you say. But if you say it right, that's all people care about. Rakim can give you greatness without one curse word in his music. That is hard. I was able to do it, but I ain't that great at it, okay? So I might have a little FUs in my stuff, but I'm just saying every now and then. But Rakim, I like the fact that he was able to deliver a message without any profanity, and the fact that he cared about, I don't want to curse in my music because I know my mother is listening. That to me shows value in him, you know what I mean, and character in him. And so yeah, I'm gonna sum it up like that. So that's what it is.
I'm glad you said that. That would you have rather seen a Rakim and Big Daddy Kane versus rather than KRS-One?
Ooh, she put me in the hot seat. I mean, I like all three of them. Maybe, because KRS-One, in my opinion, might fall into more of, I don't know, maybe a Public Enemy or Chuck D or something along that lines, because they had this same type of message in the music. But I mean, you don't have to have the same message, but that's just my opinion. So yeah, I think that maybe the Big Daddy Kane, Rakim probably would have been a better match, but it still was dope, and I was still excited to see it and watch it, and I enjoyed it.
But there you have it. Shout out to you. Shout out to you. Thank you for your time. Thank you.
Listen, thank you. I want to thank you so much. This was an amazing interview. You did your homework. You are great at what you do, okay? I absolutely love it. I do want to say one thing that we did not get to, but I wanted to remind everybody that I have my own potato chips. This is me on the bag. Lady
girl.
Chips. Okay, you guys can go to my website.
I live.
Chips.com, and just to tell you a little bit about that, because I don't want to hold you up, but a little bit about that is the chips is made to represent the people. It's made to represent artists, entrepreneurs, community leaders. It's a chip for the people. Now it is an investment, so it's not about let me just say it like this without making it sound bad, because sometimes I got to work on my delivery. I got to be honest. But I'm not in the house making it, and not to say there's anything wrong with that, making it in my kitchen and just sealing it myself. I did everything the right way, the same way how Doritos and Cheetos and Lay's and everybody do it. That's exactly how I did my chips. My chips is done the correct way. Everything is here on the bag, the ingredients, all of that, that you guys, and on the back of the bag, it's a summary about everything that I do. Now, if someone wants to get on the chips, they have to know that it is an investment. But the great thing about these chips is you invest, but you get an opportunity to make your money back. So if you sell chips and make your money back, technically at the end of the day, you can end up either not spending nothing or making a profit, while at the same time promoting yourself and your business. That's what Boss Moves is about. We out here, we moving. Let's get it. Let's go. All right?
That's how you do it. Take notes, people. Yes. I'm buying chips. I'm going. The website is Ladi Miz. Listen, that's how you do it.
Yes.
That's how you do it. Show them chips again. Let me see the chips. Let me put the chips on the camera.
Oh,
Let me
yes.
see the chips. Look at the chips.
Boss
Beautiful.
Boss Moves.
Boss Moves.
And there's a story behind this. One day I can't wait to tell it. But yes, Boss
here you
Moves.
go. Support these chips, people. I'm gonna share this live. We're gonna share this. Get this going. Boss moves. Thank you for your time, beautiful. You all right with me, okay? You all right with me, and we gonna close it out. Now I want to hear Rod again, but I don't want to give them. I don't want to give them. I'm gonna give them this. I'm gonna give them this. I'm gonna give them this for that people. They can close it out. I'm gonna close it out with this, y'all.
Oh, that's my daughter. Yes. Samaya Alexis.
Follow her. Beautiful name. Nice, y'all. See, this is talent in a family. Beautiful. The song's called Vision.
Yeah, by Samaya Alexis.
You got Instagram?
She is on Instagram. She's on Instagram. Somebody put Samaya at her in the comments. What's up, Tanya?
Dope.
That's the family business album. So check. And I want my daughter to do a video for that song. Okay, because that has a great message to it, and it's very inspiring. It still inspires me. So that is called Visions by Samaya Alexis. She's also under Effortlessly Radiant. She's a content creator, and she does marketing for brands as well.
Awesome. You are setting the standard, and I salute you, Queen. Okay, thank you so much.
Thank you for having me on your show. This was an amazing interview. I loved it, and you are great at what you do, sis. I really appreciate this, for real.
Thank you. Later.
All right, see you later.
Vision.